Hello! I'm so glad you are here. Welcome to the very first episode of Breathe. This is live. I'm Monica Schuster and I'm really happy you are here. This podcast is about you. It's for you. It's about me. It's about life. It's about reminding you who you really are. A little break from the hectic everyday to feel, to breathe, and to just be. And maybe also to see things from a new perspective, from a new side. Today I want to take you to the moment when I decide now is the time to start a podcast, a Monica podcast. Now is the time to share what I've carried inside me for so long. And, well, this episode is my beginning and maybe it's yours too. So let's see where the road goes. I didn't start the podcast because I had a plan. I started because of a feeling, of a deep inner feeling. And there was this one moment I was sitting there and I suddenly thought, I want to share this. That was a deep inner wish, not just a thought, but a deep inner wish. And here is the thing. I have to say I've always been and still am more of an introvert. So I've never really liked it put myself out there. I preferred the quiet and especially the invisible part. But then it was during a meeting about a possible magazine interview. The question came, can you imagine joining a podcast? And without thinking, I said, absolutely, of course, sure. And I was so speechless about my answer in that moment. I was so surprised what I said. I was like, what are you talking about? But, well, I guess that's at the moments when we feel this is our flow. I felt I want to share those thoughts, those experiences. They want to come out. I want to share them, bring them into the world. And even there was for so long this voice inside of me, and maybe you know this voice as well, which always says, wait a little longer, you are not perfect yet, you can't this yet, you can't that yet, you are not good enough, you know, all those sentences. And I thought, there is no perfect moment, and there won't be a perfect moment. There is only this moment. With all its edges, with all its mistakes, with all its unperfectness, but it's real. So I had a choice. Keep my words inside, locked inside me, or just try it. Just give him a try, just do it. Who cares? Well, and that's why I'm sitting here with a microphone and an open heart, and here's my podcast. A podcast to create space for honesty, for vulnerability, for courage, for the everyday moments, but also for the deeper moment when you feel we are so much, and that may open something in you as well, to discover the light that's always behind it, because you are not alone and neither am I. So I want to ask you something. Do you remember a moment in your life where you felt like now is the time? Yes, I want to start something. I want to do something. When you feel that little spark in your heart and you think like, yes, I want to do it. And at the same time, a very tiny voice inside of you whispers, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Which is probably your inner child, which is kind of like, yes, I'm in. But on the other hand, I'm pretty scared. And if you ever felt a moment like that, did you follow it? Did you do it? Whatever you wanted to do? And if yes, how did you feel afterwards? I mean, wasn't it for you also a wow moment that you, yes, I did it. And I really believe we would all feel so more uplifted, grow so much more if we allowed ourselves to be braver, just a little tiny bit braver, just to trust and surf on top of those moments, on top of those flow moments. You know, those moments when you are in the gamma state. Gamma brain waves are the fastest waves in our brain. It's a state of flow, the insight, the deep creativity, the intuition. It's a moment when time disappears, when you drive from A to B and have no clue anymore how did you do that? Where your heart and mind work as one, where you just know everything feels like possible. It's like you could fly. And when we allow ourselves to trust those moments, to follow them instead of doubting ourselves, life opens up for us. It's like the universe spread out the red carpet in front of us. And I always feel like the universe is celebrating us when we use those moments to just, go with the flow. It feels like for me, as you can fly over so many blockages just by that. It's like the surfer when he is in the water and watching these waves getting bigger and bigger and finally decided to jump on his board and just go with the flow, just use it. I like those moments. That's like, sometimes it feels like once in a million. You only have that chance, just do it. For me, I know for sure, I want to follow my flow moments way more often. I just want to surf on that big wave. I just want to try it. Just be here and there a little bit braver enough. And to be honest, that's why we are here, aren't we? And this is where the journey with you begins. Just do it. Just try it. Who cares? Just try it. I mean, we have our entire life, and these moments are sometimes rare moments. And when we look back in our lives, how many times we didn't follow our opportunities, our flow moments, our surf waves. And I remember when I ignored my inner voice and chose a safe way. Oh my God, I still remember one of those moments in my 20s. I wanted to become a makeup artist. I was already a hairdresser and wanted to become a makeup artist. I thought it's a pretty cool thing. I applied in the theater in Munich and my heart was jumping and parts of me whispered that would be so great. And I even took different classes and makeup artists. I was driving through the entire Germany to join classes. And back then I thought it's so cool to go with a person through the transformation, even it was just for the face. But I was young and my mind was louder and my mind wanted to choose the safe spot. So I didn't do it. Because the mind used to say, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What will happen with your relationship? What if my boyfriend and I can't hold a long distance? What if my boyfriend and I can't hold a long distance relationship? And so I was afraid and I said no. I stayed where I felt safe. Where I felt stuck, yes, but where I felt safe. And looking back, and now I can say there is nothing wrong with staying where it is safe. Because I stayed where it's safe, I was able to go to the United States years later. But I probably wouldn't be here when I were choosing the makeup artist. So it is what it is. And it's neutral. It's never the right way and the wrong way. It is neutral. And as soon as we allow ourselves to accept those ways, those opportunities which we didn't take as a neutral spot, then everything is okay, because then our mind and our being, our soul can move forward. But if we hold on and like, oh my gosh, if I would have done that, everything would be different. Yes, of course everything would be different, but it doesn't mean everything would be better. So just try to keep that hidden opportunities as a neutral spot. Because I'm sure if I make a decision, I always try to make it out of the best version of myself. And then I feel always good after making a decision. I would also say for me, it feels like an intersection. You stop, you have opportunities. One, maybe sometimes more than two, and each opportunity brings you to another intersection, and you can decide. Maybe you know that feeling too, when your heart says one thing, but your mind convinces you of another one. And then suddenly you realize, I'm not moving, I'm stuck. And again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with feeling stuck for a moment here and there. It also reminds us to pause and to see where we are. Where are we in life? Still on our own path? Still on our own way? And there is another story I want to share. One that happened a few years ago when I finally began working as a coach. If I look back, I can laugh now. In that moment back then, it wasn't funny at all. But that's always how it is, right? So I wanted back then, I guess it was 10 years ago. So I wanted to become a coach because, like I said before, I always loved to see how people transform, either from the outside, from the makeup, or also from the inside. I always loved it. So I wanted to become a coach, a life coach, a soul coach, as I used to call me. But being more introverted, it was so incredibly challenging for me. So in my mind, I was sitting in my office and I was waiting that people find me, which of course never happened, or at least not in the beginning happened, because how will anybody find me if I don't go out? It is a funny story. So, and on top of that, I kept thinking, I can't do that. I'm not good enough. Who am I? Who am I to help others? You know, all those really helpful sentences we carry around inside of us. And even though I had all those certificates, I took all those classes, all those trainings I needed. Actually, you could say I had everything. I had everything in my pocket, but it still felt overwhelming. I was like, well, are there some alternatives? Is there something else I can do? Is there a different way I can walk? So I wanted it. My entire being wanted it. But for me, that step, it felt like a step from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States. So totally impossible. And then all of a sudden, the universe probably said, okay, Monica, I'm done with you. The universe closed every single alternative way. Everything was closed. So all the roads, which I thought, oh, well, maybe do this in the meanwhile or do that in the meanwhile, nothing worked out. So instead of seeing the open paths, which the universe unfolding for me, I was getting more and more depressed because I was so angry that nothing worked. Until a close friend of mine said, why don't you just do what you are good at? And at first I was like, huh, what do you mean? And then all of a sudden I was like, well, maybe I have to. Maybe I don't have a choice. And well, that's why I tried it. It was a tough start for me. And like I said, looking back, oh my God, I only can say Monica. But that's how we grow. That's how life is. And even I felt all those fear, anxiety, and what could happen, all those blocking sentences. I did it. I stepped on that huge, amazing wave because I realized I have to stop fighting against myself. I have to. So I had to take the first step. And I did baby steps at the beginning, and that was a tough start for me, but it worked out. And I keep saying for me, I'm so grateful I did it. And looking back, I see that stepping into that path wasn't just about a career. It was about trusting myself. It was about going finally in the connection to myself, to honoring my inner voice and to allow my light to shine just for me, for nobody else, just for me. And even when fear was loud and convincing, there was a little tiny light inside of me. The little tiny sparkle, which just that the inner wish, the inner dream from our soul, which want to be seen, which want to come out into the world, that tiny little sparkle. And I allowed them to give them a little bit more room once in a while. And all of a sudden it came that moment when I felt like, wow, it feels like I can fly. So that's my story for the beginning. And before we close today's episode, I would like to invite you to a short moment of connection with your inner sparkle, to feel your flow, even if it's maybe just for a few moments. So if you want to close your eyes for a moment, of course only when you're not driving in your car, and place your feet on the ground. Let your hand rest gently in your lap and take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it gently, and exhale slowly through your mouth. And again, breathe in, hold, and let it go. Now bring your attention into your heart and feel the space in your heart. The space where you feel safe, where everything is fine. There is nothing to do, there is nothing to change, and there is absolutely nothing to judge. Just imagine now that the light inside of your chest, right where your heart is, with each breath it glows even brighter. Each inhale, you get more space for this light, for your inner flow, for your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner essence, the deep inside wish from your soul. And now think of a small moment in your life, past or present, when you followed your flow, where you lived your essence, where you felt like flying, where you felt like on top of the huge wave. And notice how your body felt in that moment. And where in your body do you feel it? And imagine how it will expand. How do you feel it in the entire body? And try to bring this moment into the present, into the here and now. Try to feel it with every single part of your being. And now bring your attention to a current moment where you feel maybe a little bit stuck. Imagine that the light inside of you, of your heart, gently illuminates that part and show you a way forward. Let the light inside of you show you the way, where the wave goes, where the flow goes. Allow you to just follow it without thinking, without judging. Just let it be. Just observe it and take another deep breath in and slowly exhale and let your body absorb this feeling of opening and guidance, and bring this picture of the flow in your heart, in that part of your heart where you can always remember it, in that part of your heart which is kind of a safe where you store the most important documents, the most important pictures. And when you have everything in your heart, just gently bring your attention back to you, to the here and now, and feel your body. Gently open your eyes. Notice how you feel now. And just a small moment like that can always remind you your flow, your essence is always here. Your inner wave, the surf wave, is always with you. Your inner guidance, always available. You just need to pause, to breathe, to notice, and to allow yourself to feel, to give your inner essence space. And maybe you want to take a moment to reflect. Where in your life have you ignored your flow? What stopped you? Was it fear? Was it doubt? Was it others' opinion? Was it past experience? And how did it feel in your body and in mind afterwards? And another thing which I would like you to do, apologize yourself for missing and for not taking that opportunity. Because sometimes a simply sorry is enough for yourself, for your inner part, for your inner child, to open the door and to move forward and to get more into your essence, because you see yourself. And I love this sentence. I see you. I guess those are so important and so profound words. I see you. And just remember, every decision you make is made out from the best version of yourself in that moment. There is no right or wrong decision. It is. Every decision is neutral. It's just our emotions who made it negative or positive. And honoring opportunities allows you to honor your growth. And for me, I just can say I want to follow my flow moments, my high wave moments more and more. Because that's why we are here, right? That's why we are here on earth. And this is where my journey with you begins. To grow together, side by side. Welcome to Breathe. Thank you for being here today for this very, very first episode. I'd be happy that I was brave enough to do that, and I would be so happy if you subscribe for this podcast or share it with someone who might need it right now. Next time we go even a little bit deeper. I talk about, well, you know what? No, Not now. I will tell you at the next time. So see you soon, and remember, you are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to be. Because if I can do it, you can do it as well. See you next time when it says, breathe. This is Life. Podcast with Monica.